Hello humans, Master DinnerFlax here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve. And today I'll be going over, as you could expect, Lair of Darkness. Now, I haven't really addressed the video that happened on Team Sam's channel where the guy went day 2 with Lair of Darkness, and he had a lot of choices that were actually very similar to what I've been doing. So that was pretty cool to see that we were pretty close on that. But either way, there was still a lot I wanted to test more with his list, and there was a lot of issues I had with it, but I think that's more based on like the difference between our playstyles. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it, and I'll explain my choices. So we got Darkest Diablos, we got Grinder Golem, we got Arima, 3 of them. So these 5 honestly feel like their own separate engine. They don't like join in outside of searching Lair of Darkness. They don't join in with the rest of the deck. They kind of just like I don't know how to explain it. So like Diablos itself, you never really want to draw it, and Arima, you never really want to summon it either. You usually want to pitch it to search Lair of Darkness while you're just going on. Like, that's the most synergy it has, but at the same time, it's not like you're not playing Arima, and it's not like you're not playing Diablos. These cards are very insane. This deck struggles to put on pressure, so having the option between these and just reviving this back with the back to the front just helps you and pushes you so far ahead. And Grinder Golem is really just a 1 card like Link 4, mainly Bomber Dragon, but like just having a way to put on pressure and having extra summons is very good. And for the ties targets, you all are familiar with this if you watched his profile. Same with the Lilith, best card in the deck. Now, I didn't like Duality. I tried it. I tried Duality a lot, and I thought it was awful. I thought it was like the worst possible choice that could have been made. Like, I understand why I played it, because you always want to see Lilith Lair. Like, there's no deviation from that. But at the same time, like I said, this deck really struggles putting on pressure, because you can stun pretty easily. Like, Scythe ending an opponent's turn, that's simple. That's always happening. But with Pot of Duality, you're grabbing more stun instead of putting on pressure to end the game. And I feel like that's counterintuitive past turn 1. But what Mothman is kind of interesting. So you've seen this in Lamp of Darkness. I love that title. So Mothman, why do I play this over any other danger? Because here's how I see danger monsters. They have a prize, and the prize is summoning it, a 1-for-1 draw, and a monster on the field. That's the prize. But then there's a consolation prize if they're hit out of your hand. And each danger, like the best dangers consolation prize-wise are Jackalope and Nessie. However, you need to play more than just 3 dangers for that to be good. And I didn't want to do that because I don't really want to play dangers. But Mothman is interesting because his consolation prize is effectively kind of what Pot of Duality is. It helps fix your hand in a hand where you have too many traps or a hand where you have too many monsters. So, in a way, it balances your hand. Not as good as Pot of Duality, but it balances your hand like Pot of Duality. But, because it's a danger monster that summons itself, it puts on pressure. So you see where I'm getting with that. It's a Pot of Duality in a sense, like, not as powerful, but it puts on pressure. So it does both. It has value in your opening hand and in your next hands that you're going to be getting. Especially with the trap choice that you all are familiar with that I play. And then for the artifacts, 2 Scythe and Moral Talk. I've been doing this the whole time. Sometimes I cut Moral Talk, but he comes in handy. He always comes up in every match, ultimately. And for the 2 hand traps, I agree with these. Yeah, there's nothing to say. I used to like more hand traps, but because of that stupid danger FTK, Hand traps don't even work anymore, so it, like, doesn't matter at that point. And then we got triple Lair, triple ties. No upstart because, again, of a trap choice you all are familiar with. For the traps, we got triple back to the front, triple sanctum, triple reckless greed. This is the trap I'm talking about. It refuels your hand. The person who went day 2 with Lair, he mentioned that a lot of duel you are spending from behind until randomly you start to snowball and just instant win. Which is something like I've always been saying, like, the moment you win with Lair is when you have one more disruption than the cards your opponent has total. Which, while you're tripping their stuff, happens a lot. But Reckless Greed kind of artificially keeps you in the game long enough for that to happen. Because if you're skipping their next 2 draw phases, but your opponent's down to like 2 cards, it doesn't really matter. Sure, sometimes Reckless Greed kind of screws you because you're locking yourself out of draw phases. But keep this in mind, it's not locking you out of draw phases, it's just speeding up your draw phases instantly. So if you drew bad cards with Reckless Greed, it means you would have drawn 2 bad cards in 2 turns, which means those were bad cards anyway. And if anything, Reckless Greed just got you to them immediately so you can try to get into your next draws. That's just how I feel. I feel like Reckless Greed always has a place in this stack. And I've spent way too long explaining it. So, 2 Heavy Storm Duster, 2 Impermanence, and 2 Trap Trick. I don't know how I feel about 2 of this. Maybe it is best to just stick with 1. Because you can kind of burn through a lot of your cards in this deck. But I feel like Double Reckless is insanely powerful at pushing you ahead. And Trap Trick and Reckless is Double Reckless. So that's, I felt like this was okay at 2 because I'm specifically playing Reckless Greed in here. Side deck doesn't matter. I'm not even worrying about, like, the Danger FTK. Not because I'm not worried about it, but because it's so powerful that there's no reason to even try to stop it. Just try to win the die roll and let the ban list deal with that deck. My side deck is the Forbidden Unlimited list for the Danger FTK. Except the only difference is I really want to find room for these in the main because getting Ash Blossomed on your Sanctum almost always happens. But I need to find room for this, and I just don't know what to cut right now. Maybe one of the Trap Trick and another random monster. But I don't know. We'll see. And then extra deck. You all are familiar with most of these choices. Boral Sword. Someone told me in the comments, hey, you should try Boral Sword. And I started trying it, and yeah, it's pretty good. Unlike Boral Load, which has no purpose in this stack, this has a lot of utility because it's a pressure pusher. And, not to mention, the Mothman helps you make the, like, this is super easy to make in here, surprisingly. Especially, like, if you're Scythe, Lilith, Token, Mothman, like, just turn the token into a Link Spider, and there you go, and it's just like, really good. I actually really enjoy this card. I will say, without the Doom Dog and the Sky Scorch and Morellas, he's not as effective. But those cards are really hard to fit in, and I do want to kind of keep this version streamlined. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you enjoyed all the explanations for this crap that I keep playing. I know I make Lair videos so much, but it's because I feel like it's okay. Like, at first, when it first came out and did nothing, I had lost so much hope for the deck. And, like, it actually just kind of got me on, like, I didn't enjoy much of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this deck failed. But the more I test it and the better I make it, the more I enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's almost to the point where I don't really enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! Except for this deck. And I guess that's just a place that it's in because this deck is very interactive while the format is like FTK, Extra Link, Mistake on Legs kind of stuff. So yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master DinnerFlax will take your soul.